What's good, gente? I put the link up in there. Um, for anybody that wants to join in. So today, gonna just do a quick, brief overview of what it takes or what you need to do to be 1099 or start your own business as corporation. There's obviously LLC. There's different ways, but I'll give you my perspective and my advice. At least for California, every state varies slightly, but not very much. But basically, the difference is the difference between an LLC and S corp or all the other types of businesses that you can file is that limited liability. You pay your taxes. You got to pay up front. It used to be about $800. It's probably a lot more. You have to keep up on your own taxes. It's a little bit more complicated. Well, not complicated, but if you're not on point, you can find yourself in trouble with the IRS. Brenda, what's up? What's good? Yeah, I was trying to have some music on or whatever, but I'll probably do that later. I figured right now I'll just talk about this because there's a lot of Raza that have their own business and aren't even 100% legit or taking advantage of the things that they can by being self-employed. And it's real simple. You know, you start off with your business license, and once you get your business license, then you also get your EIN number. Saludos, saludos, Sam. You get your EIN number, which is your tax ID number, so you can buy wholesale. So you get those two things, and it's very simple. You can get them online now, I believe. And once you have those, not only can you purchase things wholesale anywhere you go, everywhere you go, at the like at the depots or at the wholesale stores, but you can order things online. And so off the top, you're already going to get things at a better price. You are going to a class. Well, you're in a class right now. You cancel that. I'll give you the class. No, I'm just kidding. So, and just briefly, so just so you know, I'm sure people like ask or wonder like, who are you? Like, what do you know? So I have a degree in business that I got at the University of Phoenix about 15 years ago. That I got while I was working full time and coaching my son's team and going to church. So there's no excuse not to go back to school, not to educate yourself. So yes, so that's one. I got my degree in business. I was also a manager. I became a supervisor and a manager at a really young age, and so I worked with big companies for HSBC, Household Automotive, Capital One, GMAC, People First. I've managed over 100 people. I've done like finances for major departments. It has to do with like forecasting and budgeting and depreciation and just a lot of things that taught me a lot that gave me the knowledge and finances that I can share with other people. And not only that, but when I went to school, man, I really recommend the University of Phoenix, the in class, because the teachers are all CEOs. They're all multimillionaires. Not all, I would say 9 out of 10. And if they're not, they're like they're deans, they're directors of big companies, big corporations. They have a lot of knowledge that they teach you besides what they instruct from the courses. You learn just a lot more, and you make a lot of connections with people. But and then also I've had my own business. It was pretty successful. I just ended up working for a nonprofit at the same time. I didn't focus too much on my own contracts, and the recession hit, and so I had to just let it go. So, and even on that note, I ended up filing for bankruptcy, which is not a bad thing. That's another thing that if you're in a lot of debt, now a little bit of debt's not worth it and it's not good. But if you're in like 10K over, um, filing for bankruptcy is actually a smart thing because you probably got in some debt. They took advantage of you. And by you, I mean, you as everybody out there took advantage of you in the sense of a lot of people don't know, like debit cards are horrible. Um, getting credit cards with like anything over 15% is just, it's bad, but you got to start somewhere. But basically, um, and I've learned all these things myself. But yeah, if you file for bankruptcy, not only does your credit score go up because you eliminate all that debt, but you can choose what you file for. So, for example, when I did my bankruptcy, I didn't do my vehicles, so I kept my credit good. My auto credit was great. All my other credit, I let it go, and it's no big deal. You start all over. So that's one thing. Then that'll help you get in a better situation. Now, if you're having your own business, you definitely want to operate in an S corporation, which is it's just like a nonprofit. So you have the same structure. It's president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and they also require that you have at least 1 to 3 board members. And to file that, it's actually super easy. Also, now you can just go to LegalZoom.com. It's a website that was started by Robert Shapiro, and you put in all your information. They do all the other legal jargon for you. Used to be a couple $100, and immediately you're an S corporation. Now, that part is simple, but actually creating your corporation, you have to be wise about who you do it with, because obviously, if it's your business, you're going to want to be the president. You got to choose your vice president, your secretary, your treasurer, and your board members. So, of course, these have to be people that you respect, people that you trust, and for your board members, you definitely want to use successful business people or people that you deem wise, that you respect, that know you, know your life, know things about you. And if not, at least know a lot of things about business. So, and the reason for that is you protect you from yourself. So, for example, when I had mine, I couldn't spend more than like $3,000 without getting approval of 2 of the 3 board members. So that way I couldn't just go spend the company's money, even though it's my company and I could do what I want. But I might be making a decision out of emotion, out of just like, or somebody could be conning me. It could be a deal that's too good to be true. So if I take a minute, I call my board members and get their advice, they might see something I'm not going to see. So it's always a wiser decision to get counsel when making any kind of big purchase, anything that's going to change your life. Just take a minute. A lot of people go buy a car and they're just all excited and they run in there and they take advantage of them. You walk out of there with the car you want, but your payment is insane. The interest is insane. You're going to pay 3 times like this. And why I say that, let me explain that. So when you pay anything with credit, if it's $10, you got to add on the percentage rate. So let's say it's 10%. So you add $1, so you're paying an extra $1. And then if that goes through time, then that's usually stretched out to a couple more dollars. So you're going to be paying $15 to $20 for something that you could have paid $10 if you paid cash or with a credit card, not a debit card. So there's so many things that we can branch off and get into, but I'm just giving basics. So when I explain and I say that, when I was speaking a minute ago about your payments and your credit, that's what I meant. It all depends on that also. But those are things that you wanna know. Also, another thing I always advise people is never get into. Oh, we're talking about the auto loans. So yeah, never get into a loan that has a prepayment penalty. There shouldn't be. You should be able to. So basically, you want a daily interest rate loan. You don't want anything that's locked in or that has a prepayment penalty. You should be able to just pay up to the day. If you become rich tomorrow, I mean, if you win the lotto tomorrow or inherit a bunch of money and you want to pay that off, if you're not smart and you don't have and you don't make sure that there's no prepayment penalty, they can charge you whatever it is right there that they, you know, whatever the contract says, 500, 200, 300, a percentage, but they're going to charge you something versus a loan that's no prepayment penalty, which means you can pay it off tomorrow and you just paid interest on that one day. So that's another big mistake people make. Just like balloon payments. A balloon payment is horrible. A balloon payment is when you don't pay at the moment, but 2, 3 years later you pay everything together, and it could be thousands of dollars. That's why a lot of people lost their houses, and it's going to happen again. But so back to like the house loan, the auto loan. Take your time. Never rush into any kind of loan, or nowadays you can go online. I suggest you do with internet managers, get pre-approved by your bank, and sometimes the only way to do it is to play the credit game, and that's all right. Like if you have no credit and you have to get an interest rate that's, let's say, 20, 30, 40%, you get it. Make sure you pay on time, make a bigger payment, and you pay that off. You make your payments and you pay more for 6 months, and within 6 months, if not sooner, another company is going to give you they're going to shoot you an offer to refi because they see that you can pay. So then when you refi, you're gonna get a better interest rate. So that means, so if the car's 10,000 and you're at like 30%, you're gonna pay 30% more. You're gonna pay an extra $3,000. But if you refi at 15%, then you're only gonna pay an extra $1,500. You see, that's how it works. And same thing with a house. The same thing with anything. That's why not having a prepayment penalty is also important, because if somebody lets you borrow money at a better interest rate, then you can pay that loan off, and now you pay less interest on this, and that's the credit game. And then your credit score goes up, and then you get another offer at a better rate, and then you go with those people, and then that's how you just keep moving on up and up as your score goes up. Once you hit 750, they don't even, you get approved for whatever you want pretty much, which is what they call prime. There's prime credit and then subprime credit. And of course, prime credit is, you either have a lot of money available on your credit score, I mean, in your, on file, or you have a long history of making your payments on time. That's basically it. We have accessibility to a lot of cash. Otherwise, um, if you can have a lot of money, but if you haven't shown a history of payments, then it doesn't really do much. But I can't see who's on here with me still. Who's here with me? Is Brenda and Sam? You guys still here? I'll put the link right there. Play it. Jump on, Brenda. You can play some music for me. But I'm gonna jump off in a minute. Oh, what's up, Cynthia? Okay, Cynthia's in here. So yeah, I mean, and if you have any questions, let me know. I just kind of covered all the basics, the topics that I think are most important and affect people the most. Another thing people don't know or might not know is spending money in your city. If you work and you pay taxes, if you go shop in another city, another town, whatever taxes they charge you on what you're buying goes to that city. So you want to try and shop where you live, because all that money goes back into fixing of the roads and all that, paying for public services. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna do some more, and yeah, the educational videos I'm definitely gonna leave up, and I'll probably expound on them a little bit more, get a little bit better and better, a little bit more professional. But the most important thing is the information. But I definitely want to get on here and do some music and stuff too. But probably later on tonight. um, or you got homework, so you're in a financial class tonight too, huh? I mean, you're going to school right now or what? Yeah, when I went, obviously I got my GED, so I literally had to you know take all the classes, which was fine with me. I mean, I did do what they call a CLEP. I forgot what the acronym is, but you basically pay and you take a test. So of course I took Spanish 1 and 2. I passed that easily. I got those credits, and then I did like some math tests. I did some science, social studies. I passed a bunch of tests, so that helped me out with credits. But it still took me 4 years to actually complete the rest of the credits. And you know, but like I said, everything that I've learned, the people that I met, it definitely increased my knowledge, and it was well worth it. And I plan on going back to school again eventually, probably get my master's or something. I'm not sure, or just study something that I like. But that's good. Yeah, having your goals too, financial goals, definitely. Another thing uh, that I would suggest to people, if you don't have, get a living trust, because a living trust works similar to a home equity line of credit. So, Brenda, do you own your house, or anybody? So, if you own your house and your house has equity in it, which again, I'm just going to speak in as if nobody knows what some of these words mean. So, equity is when you have money in your house. So just like with a car, like if you go buy a car that's worth 50,000 and you put 25,000 down, so there's 25,000 of equity into that car. Same thing with a house. If it's 200,000 and you put 20,000, there's only 20. But let's say you buy it for 200,000, the market value goes up, and now your house is worth 500,000. So now you have $300,000 of equity in your house. So what you get is a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit, and which is basically borrow money from yourself, and that's the best way to go. You get a credit card, you get a checking. They probably don't even give you a checkbook anymore, but they'll give you a checkbook. It's a whole separate account, and you pay yourself back money you're borrowing from yourself, basically. Um, and you can do that also with a living trust. You get a living trust, and if after about 2 years, if you make your payments on time, actually, I don't remember if you have to wait that long. But once you activate your your account, basically, and if you're sick, if something comes up, surgery, whatever, you can borrow your own money and pay yourself back, and that's also will cover you for the rest of your life if you live long, if you live a long life. And that happens. I was taking a class on life insurance, which is I need to just take the test and finish that. But it happens where people outlive their policies, and just by not paying an extra $20-$30, they miss out on getting money back, and it's very unfortunate. But anyway, I'm going to do some more of these. I'll probably try and get on live and have people jump on and ask questions. And but for right now, those are just the basics that I could think of that kind of cover, basic credit to big loans to bankruptcy, and for businesses also. But again, I recommend S Corp. S Corp, look into that. It's the best way to go. It's what all the people in government, all the people with money, they have S corps, they have nonprofits, and then they go hand in hand. That's a whole other topic that I want to cover also. But I appreciate the support, Brenda and Cynthia. Check out, if you haven't already, some of the other pictures and shorts that I've put up. I'm gonna be putting a lot more. I have tons of video from all over Mexico and all over that I've been. I'm real picky with what I put up, and so and then I've just been busy. But I'll be putting up more content, and then also probably just I'll be doing some interviews soon with a few people from San Diego that need a little bit of recognition. But other than that, everybody, I will be back on here again soon. Good night for now. Brenda Love.